What's up guys, this is the Cold Frequencies. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to make a detuned style lead like Massano. Let's get to it. So let's hop right into it and see how to make that sound. So starting with the oscillators, start with the first oscillator. So that's at a saw. I'm going to leave that as is. Second oscillator, I'm going to move that one to a saw. So this sound, we are going to be stacking 3 saws on top of one another, slightly detuning and changing the pitch up a little bit. That's what's going to create that crazy detuned sound that we are going for. This one is going to be pulled all the way up this time so we could hear it. The second oscillator, I am going to just slightly mix that in. I'm going to leave that one at full blast. So the main oscillators of our sound today are going to be the first oscillator and the third oscillator. The second one is just an additional layer that's going to help create that crazy sound. So I'm going to go back to the oscillator section, and now I'm going to work with my pitching, because that's probably, aside from the filter and the envelope, that's probably like the most important part of the sound is the pitching. Now in Diva, you could only detune the second and third oscillators. So those are the ones I'm going to detune. I'm going to just move this one slightly to the right, and then the third oscillator slightly to the left, and then I'm going to change the pitching on each oscillator. So the first oscillator, I'm going to pitch down an octave. The second oscillator, I'm going to pitch up an octave, and the third oscillator, I'm going to leave as is. And let's see how that sounds. Voila! See, we're already getting there. So now I'm going to play with my feedback a little bit. Everybody knows from the last tutorial that I love the feedback knob. Yeah, that's cool. So that's our basic sound. Now moving on to the filter section. Let's go ahead and set that up. So I'm going to start with the cutoff here a little bit. I'm going to close it up. Right about there, maybe. And then I'm going to open it up back on the cutoff for the second envelope. Like so. So the ladder filter, the emphasis knob is your resonance. I'm not going to mess with that for this particular sound. Well, maybe I will, but for now, let's start with the basics. Moving on to the envelopes, I'm going to go ahead and switch these over to analog. Now we are going to play with the shape. So I'm going to go ahead and raise the attack on both of them, because we are utilizing both envelopes. I don't need that sustain. In fact, the sustain could be a little bit lower. I'm going to go ahead and increase the decay and probably something like that. And then I do want a little bit more release. A little bit of release is always good, so it sounds natural, so it doesn't sound like I am making a synth. So it doesn't sound so robotic. Maybe even a little bit more. Yeah, I like that. So now we are going to head over to the effects section, and I'm going to activate the chorus. Everybody knows my trick. I'm going to go ahead and turn the wet knob up and the depth down. All right, and I'm just going to browse through the different models here to see which one sounds the best. It's always ensemble. And then I'm going to go ahead and head to the second effect, get my reverb. I'm going to pump in the dry signal, 100%. Activate it. Yeah, okay, that's nice. So now I'm going to blend in this second oscillator a little bit and see what we can get. All right, so that is the basic sound. This one is quite simple. You don't really have to do too much. It's just really all in the tuning, what you choose, blending in each oscillator to kind of detune everything against one another, and then your filter, and then your envelopes. Okay, so let's hear how that sounds in the mix. All right, so maybe a little white noise or pink noise. Let's start with pink noise. I'm going to go ahead and modulate the pink noise. So to do your modulations in Diva, you're going to go to the modifications. At the top here, this is where you have your basic modulators. So we have the VCO and the filter and the feedback. Where it says noise and dual VCO mix, that's the one I'm going to use. We're going to do it off of envelope 2. Turn this knob up. Nice. Yeah, I like it. All right, so let's hear how that sounds. getting there. Let's try messing with the envelopes a little bit. Get a little bit more release. I'm gonna turn down the second oscillator. Cool, let's see how that sounds. Yeah, now because I always experiment as much as possible, I'm gonna go ahead and try a different waveform on just one of these oscillators, just to see what we can come up with. Let's do the third one. I'll leave that one as it was. Oh, it's all about that sweet spot. It's all about that sweet spot. I'm just going to turn it down overall in the mix of the synthesizer a little bit. Blend it in a little bit better. Yeah. All right, let's hear how that sounds. Cool. So that is how you make the Massano detuned lead. I will see you guys next time.